Okay, so you guys come to the Sandpit. It's a large, colossal building, much like the Roman Colosseum. And as you approach the gates, you pass by the ticket box. And
as we're walking,
okay,
because I don't know, the tournament's been weird and they didn't like girls.
Mm-hmm.
I've been druid crafting just a bunch of moss, and I've been putting it on my face.
Okay. Okay.
So, and I'm just like, Tarina, give me back my pipe. Tarina, give me back my pipe. It's gonna make me look distinguished.
Oh no.
I'm like I'm like pressing the moss even harder into my face.
What if Druid craft a twig into the shape of it?
But I like just quickly druid craft a stick, but this one doesn't blow bubbles! And I throw it down on the ground.
Ugh.
Is that how you treat your pipe?
It's not a pipe, that's a stick! I miss my pipe. I cross my arms. I'm all huffy. I look even more huffy because I got an awesome moss beard and I got thick moss eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like flying in your face.
Oh yeah, no, it's all over the place.
Yeah, so Ferris looks at you and says, "Are you attempting to enter the competition as well?"
No, they just don't like girls, so I'm disguising myself as a man.
You think this is because they don't like girls? Ooh.
Okay, so there's this problem in that Ferris isn't exactly sure where to go. Because no one reads Undercommon.
Uh-oh.
So, where do we go?
Oh, sorry guys.
Where do we go?
I can't use languages.
You can comprehend? Yeah, go for it.
Just before we get there, because it only lasts an hour.
Okay. Alright. Do a look around. And you see, like, above the door, the door you're in front of has a number on top of it. And you think, maybe this is just, a reference for, like, how the sections are divided. And you walk around and then come to a, like, kind of this, it's sort of like a shack or a hut attached to, like, the outside of the Colosseum thing. Alright. And you approach it, and then there's a drought counter. Looks various. Name? Fred.
Yeah, I think that's what we put his name down as.
Fred.
I believe so. That sounds about right.
Fred.
I think that's what we put his name down. Yep, that's my... I smack his back and I'm like, yep, that's our boy Fred. Cross my arms. Furrow my moss brows.
So the drow flips through the book, and I'm gonna have you do a persuasion check, one of you. Either because we didn't actually put a name down. We just had Reoric sign him up.
Can we just say retroactively we just put down Fred?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that makes me happy.
Okay, yeah. Oh.
I mean, Tarina would probably be better at this, but I feel like I was the one that kind of stepped up.
Blink will give you the help action.
Oh.
Woo!
Boink is so good.
Boink's
Because
great.
Boink's invisible. Is he invisible right now?
No, there was a dragonfly flying in your face.
Oh,
All right.
wait, advantage. Oh, that's kind of rolling on a keyboard is hard. All right.
You can roll in your box.
17.
Okay, so he flips through the pages and sees this mossy, bearded, leaf-haired green being with a dragonfly on its face. And say, Fred, yep.
Yep, it's Fred. Like, you're doing it all wrong, and I'm like pointing at like the sheet, and I point at where Fred's name is. I'm just like, this is Fred.
And you do point to the actual spot where Fred was written, and because you were actually with Riork when he wrote it down, you find it on the sheet, and are like, it's right there. And then the drow kind of squints at it and says, okay, whatever. Sure. Sure. Come on in, Fred.
Yes.
And then, Darius goes through the door, and, you guys are left to, go through another, entry point.
All right.
So we'll say that...
As we're I guess like as we walk through, I'm gonna like turn towards Fred and look at him, 2 eyes, be like, all right, Fred, you got this. We've trained very long for this. So many numerous hours. And I have my friends to help you out too. And I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna do I think the Constitution one would be good.
Yeah.
Because that gives you temp HP.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you and just attach themselves to Riork. I mean, not Riork. Fred. 3.
On to Fred.
3. 6 extra temp HP for various Fred.
Okay, so yeah, your little balls of light kind of like attach onto him and sink in, and
he has advantage on Constitution checks.
Nice. So he nods his approval and says, "I think this is good." You approach. So you're able to enter through the same hall, but he has to turn another way, and then you guys have to go, as viewers, have to go another direction. And you have a few options for tickets, because it is an arena, and the Sandpit requires an entry fee. It's like a couple copper for like the standing seats, and then all the way. But you can get a premium box for actually 5 gold. Okay. And Adlanna says, "I want a box. Just put down 5 gold. I want a box. That sounds good."
You want a box?
Yeah. What do you want, Tarina? I kind of want to be as close as possible to the action.
I just want to be close enough that we can help him if we need.
Okay, yeah, let's get the Sandpit then.
Okay. So, I guess you guys split off. Adlanna says, "Well, I'll be able to watch from above in case anything is amiss up here. And after the fight, we'll meet back here, I guess."
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys did purchase. So you're really. you purchase like the standing seats that are like really close to the edge, and she's way up in the box. So like, here's the bottom of the amphitheater, and then it's like it has a tiered section of like 5 rings. So she's in like one of the top boxes up here, and then you guys are down here. So she's technically behind and above you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The Sandpit is a circular. The arena is a circular sandpit that is roughly 300 feet across. There are 5 tiers of seats that occupy the edge of the circular arena. Spaced among them are several boxes that are walled off and shaded for private parties. There is a particularly large one that houses a proud-looking drow female.
Whoa. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Savage.
Huh?
So that's the war matron, and her box is like super big and like is really close, so it's like really easy to assume that like she actually oversees the arena. She watches from her shaded seat with eager anticipation, very obviously enjoying the fights that are taking place below. Next to her is a large orange devil, the one you met in the tavern.
Oh.
He's currently lounging in a sofa in her box. She also has several other males around her that are dressed in fine silks and just kind of lounge around her.
And it's a Carvich, right?
A Carvich? Yeah,
moth?
Carvich is his name. Yeah, I actually drew him too.
Yay.
Oh.
He looks pretty.
Mothman! It looks like the Milpitas monster.
Woo!
Milpitas has its own monster?
Isn't the Mothman?
Oh,
Yeah, they're moths, so.
Yeah.
I did think about that. I was like, I kind of get a Mothman feel.
That's basically what he is.
So, I feel like, anyway.
Oh.
Yes.
What's the name of that? What's the name of the moth guy from Teen Titans?
Oh!
I thought about that guy too.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I thought about it too. I was like,
take my daughter Kitty to the prom.
Okay.
Someone look that up.
I think he's just Mothman. I don't know.
I feel like he had a more distinguished name than Mothman.
Probably.
Yeah, I think.
But now that's all I see. But orange.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. It's pretty close.
Is this guy all attracted to lamps?
You have not observed that
We should try it.
Yeah, you should. One of you should try to figure that out. I would enjoy that a lot.
Oh boy.
I feel like we need like
Killer Moth.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's his name, Killer Moth. Gosh, that was a good episode.
Searching for music for your next video.
Nice searching.
Oh, I'm searching for music.
Ads. It's pretty cheap. Okay.
Is it me or is it weird that nobody's freaked out by this Mothman?
Well, apparently he's a big deal in town, so if you were to be freaked out, you'd be taken care of.
I lean in. Like, do you think he's like an actual moth? Like, do you think he likes lights, or he eats through clothes, or?
I think he may have some tendencies, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he is anything.
Plus, Drow like to interact with demons a lot.
I mean,
so.
Luna, you're not here.
They're in spirit.
You hear this echo of Luna.
Echo of Luna. Get out of my head! I mean, I can ask one of my friends to find out, and I cast dancing lights.
Okay.
The lights look like lamps.
And
Alright.
I'm just like, before I do that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand behind you, Tarina, just so that he doesn't see me cast it.
You want to hide under my cloak?
Yes. All right, I hide underneath the cloak.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right, so, all right, and like I'm just like talking to my spirits. I'm like, all right, this is our first prank. Let's see how mothy this Mothman is. And I just send out like,
You've never had a prank before?
I've had pranks done on me. Ellie has never done a prank
Okay.
because she's a green kid. Of course, kids would pick on her and prank her.
Would I never talk to you to doing a prank?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Maybe not that she's aware of.
Could be. All right, and then I just send out a little. Who would be the? I think Pip would be the one.
Yeah. I agree. I think Pip.
Pip is the hyperactive
Is
one.
Pip like yellow?
They're all like a yellow,
Okay.
like
okay.
motes.
All right. So, we'll have Pip. How's we're gonna have to. So is Pip just going across the arena, or is Pip trying to be secretive? Because like Mothman is pretty far away.
I mean,
Carvage is pretty far away.
I would just imagine that it's just kind of slowly drifting there. I don't know if he can be stealthy because I'm just doing dancing lights and it's a cantrip.
Okay.
So, to your discretion,
Do.
DM wife, my ever so loving DM wife.
Okay, so we'll have you do a wisdom
Okay.
roll, and then we'll have you do a stealth one, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
You can add still.
Yeah.
So my wisdom is 15,
Okay.
and so I guess I'll just be using my stats for stealth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay, so I'll say that like you the wisdom was so you could maintain dancing lights at like such a far distance.
Oh, okay.
And the stealth was so like he could not be noticed so much. People do notice Pip. But like it's not like they're
I will say that it is 120 feet, so whatever
okay.
I think is cool.
They do notice, and we'll say that like you're at the side of the box that he's in,
Mm-hmm.
and so Pip kind of like floats up, and people notice, but they're not too like taken aback by it because it's not like they haven't seen magic, and
Yeah.
nothing like it's just a little floating ball of light, so
Yeah.
they just kind of let it go. So it floats up, and what would I do for a prank? Do a performance check. What's Pip trying to do? Is Pip trying to just be distracted to him or scare him or
Pip is just gonna hover over and then just kind of hover over his head,
okay.
and he's just gonna kind of stay there, and we're gonna perform science and see how moth-like our Mothman is.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of hiding underneath Tarina's cloak like a blanket, and I just kind of have it over my face, and I'm like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna moth?
Oh my gosh.
All right.
It's like waiting to see if your cat notices the laser pointer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh my god. Okay, I'm doing a
Or a
performance.
cucumber.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I rolled a 21.
Oh, okay, let's see.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So, Pip very Very much like like a dandelion puff on the wind comes and floats down in front of a Caravage, who like beforehand was like, just kind of lounging on this couch and eating. I mean, we'll show you he's eating grapes because it's classic. And then like mid grape, he's like, and looks up and sees this and like drops the grape and then is like, and like
yes,
tries to like grab at it, make a dexterity check to avoid being grabbed by a Caravage.
Okay. Wow. I mean, yeah, that's another 21.
Yeah, for the shenanigans, it's always great. So, like, nimbly, Pip weaves out of the way, and a Caravage actually, like, stands up and starts chasing this around.
Oh my gosh.
And I just, like, turn to Tarina, I'm like, you're right, pranks are fun.
I hand you back your pipe.
Yes.
And then, like, you see basically the War Matron's cadre of just, like, males, because she has, like, basically a harem. Like, they get up and, like, they're looking at him like, what is happening? And, like, the crowd actually starts, like, some people next to you, like, start pointing and are like, and start snickering. And then, like, at the end, you actually see the War Matron get up, and she, like, because of your proximity, you can actually see her face, and she's just like...
As soon as I see her face, I'm just like, okay, Pip, come back. And I just snap my fingers, and then he just...
You see a Caravage like, whoa, hey, went away. And the War Matron is just... She just points and is like, get out, they can't handle you right now.
I just saw that look on the webcam. It was very mom-like. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like my DM wife giving me that look.
So, like, he actually kind of, like, slinks away. And then she kind of, like, straight backed, chin out, and sits back down in her chair. Before she sits back down in her chair, she looks down the side and, like, gives everyone this, like, really dark glare. All the people who are snickering, and they're like, oh, okay.
All right, I wrap myself even closer to Tarina in the cloak, trying to hide myself.
Make stealth checks.
Okay.
Just for flavor. Both of you make stealth checks. For flavor.
I mean, like, Tarina's probably not trying to hide or anything.
This is
I mean, it is my cloak, but like...
This is how well you're able to hide in a crowd.
Oh, I see. I cast Pass Without a... No, I'm just kidding.
Can I use my buddy to give me advantage?
Sure, it's for funsies anyway.
Stealth?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's positive.
I rolled pretty good.
18.
Ooh, okay.
7.
Cool. Okay, so, like, you see from beneath Tarina's cloak, you peer through the flaps, and the Lore Matron, like, just is scanning that crowd, and she looks at you, and just this hones in on you, and it's just like, I'm watching you.
And then I do the core thing back. No, I'm just kidding.
And then turns back on her heels and sits back down in her chair.
Do you think she saw me?
Did she make direct eye contact with you?
I mean, it felt like it, but there's a lot of people in here.
No? You're right. But I think it's better to just err on the side of caution.
Well, at least you'll be looking for a bearded man. And I try to straighten up. So my moss falls off, obviously.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna switch back to our other team.
Time for the fun roll.
The funnel.
So, after everyone finishes, you begin your procession through town. Actually, I wanted to do more chanting because I'll do more chanting.
This is super dark.
I know. The procession starts, and the long train of mourners, led by the High Priestess, is led out of the cathedral. She is preceded by her priestesses, who bear black iron torches and censers. Behind the High Priestess, is her entourage of guards, followed by the pallbearers of the body and the Braden family, which is Rioric's grandmother's family. Behind them are the remainder of the procession. They march forward. Is someone messaging me?
No, that's just Nicole.
The general chat.
Oh, okay. In a steady pace forward north of the town. Along the way, Drow who are walking in the streets stop where they are and bow until the procession has passed. Eventually the procession exits the city, and you pass on a road that has mushroom fields flanking either side. Those working in the dark fields are human and dwarves, and they too stop their work and bow in their place. Then they rise and return to work after the procession has passed. At the end of the long road, the procession comes to a large structure with winches, pulleys, and a large lever. From what you can gather, it's a very large elevator. With chains that are thicker than your body. That's how big they are. Ooh. From the procession starts to go on to the elevator, and it's a tight fit, but you do manage to fit.
Well, where's everyone else going to go?
The entire procession fits on this lift. That's how big it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna make that joke.
Alright. Okay.
My bad. Wasn't funny.
The lift is large and can hold the entire host of the funeral procession. And the thick chains that lower it down into the mountain are thicker than your torso and clank heavily as the elevator sinks down. The temperature increases dramatically. As you descend downward, sweat collects at your back. There is a heavy silence as the already dim lights from the city go into blackness. Couple moments pass in darkness, I should say. But then a few pale, you recognize this as dancing lights because you've seen Ellie cast it. A couple people actually will cast that because members of the funeral procession there are humans in the procession.
Nice not to feel alone. Or whatever we are.
Yeah. Rioric has wedged himself into the corner.
Aw.
I don't like
Enjoyed him in the corner.
He's like, I don't like crowds. Realistically, doesn't like crowds.
Especially in this area.
You do notice that there is let's see. I failed to mention this person before, but she's pretty cool, so I'll mention her now. You do notice that there is another winged being here, similar to who you met in the tavern, but it's a female. She's smaller.
Is she reacting to the lanterns? With lamps.
Let's see if she does.
It's a female Mothman.
Yeah, she
Mothman.
she just looks at them, but isn't otherwise distracted too much. She does have 4 arms, but her skin is like a light purple, and she only has 1 set of eyes. I'll show you her.
Oh.
Cool.
I like her ponytail.
Yes, she has a high, elegant ponytail. She's actually pretty close to you, and then sees you guys kind of adjusting to the heat, wiping some sweat off. She leans over and says, "Under boob sweat, the worst, right?"
Right.
Yeah.
Keyanthi just has her eyes wide, like, why are we having this conversation? She's terrified a little bit, but she's keeping it under wraps.
And next to her, next to her, you see this drow male come through. He has like a lute in hand, and he kind of nudges the female, and then she's like, "Where have you been?" It's just like, I gotta keep you entertained somehow. And then they kind of pull off to the side and bicker a little bit, exchange a few harsh words. And Keyanthi, you look at this guy, and he reminds you of your brother, which is weird. Because it's clearly not your brother, since this guy is a drow.
Just trying to make a little sidelong glances, though, trying to, like, distinguish the loot. See if she, like, knows a loot, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Lynn doesn't like bards that play lutes.
So is Luna giving him kind of this like stink eye, like?
We're just like avoiding eye contact.
Okay. So do you want to make a investigation check on the loot?
Let's do a check on the loot. Let's loot it
Okay,
up,
loot. Check.
Do you want guidance? Or would you
If
ask for it?
ask me in public, go ahead. But let's see what we can do. Alright,
She would know to give it to
investigation.
you.
Yes, please high five me for investigation because it's.
I'll give you a little pat on the shoulder, sort of thing. Or
Thank
like
you
a
very much.
friendly hand.
Alright, so my investigation is -1, so we're gonna go over to the roll 20.
Yeah.
D20. Oh my gosh.
I don't think everybody's score is gonna help, so
And then a 4 on it? Is that what it is?
it would be 1d4, but
Since we have it, let's do it. Okay, 6. No, wait, -5. 5.
So you got a 5. Cool.
I'm just like, it looks like any old loot.
Yeah, it's dark. There's very dim lighting. It's not really distinguishable from where you are, and it just, loots. You've never really looked at his loot too closely, so you're not sure if you'd recognize it, even if you got a good look at it.
Right.
Okay, the lift comes to a creaking halt. Here it's slightly brighter, as there's an orange glow coming from a cavern in front of you. So, it descended down into this large, really big cavern. And, in front of you, there's, a cave tunnel thing. And from there, it turns, and, so you can't see, the end of this tunnel. But you do see, light coming from that tunnel, and it's orange. It's dark and very hot.
flashbacks to bad days in Minecraft.
The procession continues, and you hear various groups exhale from the heat. Ugh. The High Priestess steps forward and addresses the group. The journey to the depth of the mountain can be treacherous. But if our forebears have done this path, then so will we. Lady Brayden will be returned to the Dark Mother. Be proud, but do not be stupid. You have several minutes to prepare your entourage. Then we will proceed.
So they don't just dump her into the lava?
Probably not.
There's so do a history check for me.
Okay. I think I can safely give myself guidance on this one. So. Oh, 23.
Okay, so you gather, like you remember back to when you're in the tavern and
Wait, no, that's 20.
Okay. So you remember back to the tavern when all these Drow warriors were there. They actually brought in like this creature's head, and like, you can make a reasonable guess that these mountains are not empty, and that there are creatures down here that could pose a threat. It's also very hot. So, you look around and notice that people are preparing spells. You see, yeah. And you can assume that they're, anticipating that, there might be something on this road. Because it is so hot, they also would want to have some kind of preparation. So if you guys want to do anything, now is the time.
Okay. Oh, should I be ready to cast spells, or should I wild shape, guys?
To survive in the heat?
I mean, if we have to fight something and I'm a giant wolf, that would help.
If there's space available, definitely maybe we'll wait till something might be necessary. So I would hold on to it just in case, and not extend anything if unnecessary.
I mean, I could do it for like at least 2 hours.
Okay. Well, use your best judgment. I don't understand. I'm not as well versed in druid craft as you might be.
The one issue is that I can't cast a spell as an animal.
That's why I suggest maybe holding off for a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully we don't fight anything. It's a funeral, but if we keep moving, we'll keep moving.
Okay. It's very, very hot. And despite Rioric's effort, he's sweating a lot due to the heat. And, the makeup's starting to melt a little bit. You think that, he's okay for now, but, probably shouldn't get too close to anyone.
Didn't we use a setting powder on him to help with that, or is it just still too hot?
It's super hot.
We're in
it's
a volcano.
Yeah, you're in a volcano. I'm sorry, it's held up pretty well.
That usually defenses against the setting powder.
So, setting powder only touched so much against the leg.
That's a shame.
Yeah. You look around, you notice that the Braden clan, the one that Rioric's mother is a part of, and they're mostly mages because they're the ones who are conjuring spells and casting mage armor on themselves, because you would recognize that spell since you've seen Tarina cast it. Rioric's mom casts a spell on herself that glows faintly and then fades into her skin.
Okay, so Keyanthi will lead into Luna. Do you know of any spells like that might help our friend Fiona with her makeup?
I don't. I don't know if your prestidigitation might help.
That is a good idea. I always forget about that. Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so if I use prestidigitation, let's see here. We'll be able to cool him down. I think I can control temperature a little bit.
Let me see. Pressed.
I just know it has like a bunch of little uses, so it's hard to know exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, it has like okay. It can do a lot of things. Like, I know it can clean you. You can create instant harmless sensory effects such as showers of spark, puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd odor. You can snuff out candles. You can clean or soil an object. You can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material. You can make a color, small mark.
Alright.
The air.
You can make a color or a small mark or symbol appear in an object for 1 hour. You can create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that can fit in your hand and can last until the end of your turn.
I see. Well, can we like cool the air around your?
Yeah. So
Prestidigitation.
okay, this is what we'll do. You have racial spells, right? And
I think that's her racial spell. It's prestidigitation.
okay.
As a high elf, you only get a cantrip.
Okay, so how you get
Yeah, I have like one cantrip, and that's what I chose.
Do you know what spell modifier that falls under?
Intelligence.
Intelligence? Okay. So
Crap.
do an intelligence check to manipulate as to how well this prestidigitation will work.
Alright, well, let's see if the little robot over here likes me.
More guidance.
Right. Yes.
Wait, does guidance count here? I think it's only ability checks. Does this count as ability checks?
Nah, I don't think it does. It's not like it would.
You can put guidance on it. I'm okay with it. Because I'm kind of, like, bending rules here anyway.
And also, my roll really sucks, so I could use a little guidance right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slap me. Do it.
Alright, slap you.
Ow.
Quick love.
Ow!
Alright, so I got a 5.
Okay, so, like, you you very cautiously approach Eric, and then you kind of, like, you don't want to use too much to, like, blow all the makeup off, and so, like, you kind of go, a little here, a little there, and, like, you manage to, like, dry up his sweat, so it's not any worse, but it's not any better.
Great.
Would she be able to reset the makeup?
You don't have the kit with you because it's Adlanna's.
With prestidigitation.
She can make a small mark or symbol appear on an object or surface for 1 hour. So
I can only do like one little mark. I can't do the whole face.
it says a small mark, so like you can, if there's like, you know, you can fix the eyebrows. I feel like those would like melt away first, honestly.
Do people like still say on fleek, or is that like a momentary thing a couple years ago?
I don't know. I'm not.
I don't still say on fleek in this universe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not cool.
I don't follow lingo, man. I still say the bomb. So.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll get those eyebrows on. You can do that too, I guess.
Okay.
I think.
You can do it with advantage now because you kind of know what you're doing a little bit more.
A little more ideas. Alright.
Need more guidance?
Let's find out. Gosh. My friend.
You might as well just do it.
My friend, stop talking to me. She's blocking my D rolls.
You're just
Ah,
popular.
11. Okay, so I got a 10 on that normal.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
You get advantage, so you can roll again.
Oh, let's do it again.
That D roll, that's what they call it in the Dungeons and Dragons. That D roll.
Okay, the 10 is my
11.
best.
Okay.
So then 1d4.
And a D4, huzzah!
Yeah.
Thank you for taking pity on me. Why won't it show up? Apparently I can't type. There we go. So, 12.
12? Okay.
12.
You take another shot at redoing Rear's makeup. It's not horrible, it's just melting a little, okay? And you do manage to successfully apply eyebrows. However, but they look kind of, you know when there's like someone has done like a bad job filling in their eyebrows, like they're too thick? That's kind of what happened.
So okay, she just has really tacky makeup.
Yeah.
Don't judge her.
Don't judge her. She's just trying different brands. And Rioric is like kind of fanning himself, like, does it look any better?
Probably should
Yes.
have Adlanna if we could take the makeup with us.
Okay.
Didn't you buy a disguise kit or something?
I think I did. I thought I shared it with everyone.
I think you gave it to Adlanna, though. Right.
That was it.
That was it. Okay. I thought she already had it, but
I honestly don't remember. So, next, I think we can switch back to the other team again. That's
One makeup mishap later.
Yeah, so we'll switch back to the other team.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you for watching Dungeon Damsels. This is not the end of the session, so please stay tuned for the next part. We update on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in supporting us more, please push the subscribe button, like, or comment. We also have a Patreon, wink wink nudge nudge, and our show is in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and plenty of other podcast platforms. Thanks, we hope to hear from you soon.